All right, guys, so we are back with another video. As always, I like to give these videos and tips of, learning social media from a more of a psychological perspective because I have a small background in psychology. But I wanted to talk about hooks today because people have been having trouble overall just trying to figure out how to create hooks. So I'm going to explain that to you today. So, what is the purpose of the hook? So, the hook is pretty much to draw attention. The reason why this is important is because now there's a lot more people on social media. So, it's a little bit harder to capture attention. Instagram and a lot of apps have honestly straight up just came out and said, there are more people using the app. Therefore, by logic, more people are creating. So now you have to stand out because you have people posting often, and since it's worldwide, when you're sleeping people are posting, so it's constant use. So you have to figure out how to stand out. So things went from just creating good content to then creating content to stand out, and now it's creating content to have a hook so you can stand out, so you hopefully can intrigue somebody. So things are becoming a little bit harder when it comes to really even just getting attention, not even standing out. So that's why hooks are really important. Is it possible to learn? Yes, because like I said, everybody has something unique to offer, but people now just have to learn how to do it in a way where it's more efficient. Because there's small people that I listen to even on YouTube who they give really good advice, but the only reason why I was able to listen to them, even though they have a smaller following, is because they had a really great direct hook. So you want to make sure that your hook is direct, that's to the point, and you want to make sure that it pretty much describes what the video is going to be about. So, for example, if you talk about fishing, I don't fish, but I love using the fishing example. If you are making a video on the best maybe fishing nets to use, you want to make sure that that's somewhere in the title slash caption, depending on what platform you're using, because people don't want to feel cheated. They want to kind of know what they're going to be learning about. So think about when it comes to clickbait. That's why some pages that make clickbaity things, like they might have the title unrelated to the actual video, they don't last as long. They don't get as much growth long term. Now, there's a way to do it, but you still have to deliver what you promise. So if you're making a video about space and your clickbait has something to do with the moon, not the moon, something to do with the ocean, it has to somehow connect. So pages that don't do that, or profiles, whatever it is that don't do that, they don't find a connection, they don't last as long because people feel cheated. So they might get a huge boost in the beginning of the time that they're doing posts like that, but over time, the reach starts to go down, they don't attract as many people. On top of that, watch time matters, so people will eventually scroll off, and when people scroll off of the video, you don't get the full watch time. So this comes down to even shorts. You need to have people watch the full video, so that's why shorter stuff is better, depending on what you're doing. But the idea is to keep people engaged the whole way, because you can have a good hook, but people click off because it's not as captivating. So that's why it's really good to describe what you're going to be talking about. So it's the same thing with stores. If you have a shoe store, you want to name it shoe store or something in relation to shoes, or kind of display that it's about the kind of display that the name has something to do with what they're going to buy, or you have open display cases, showing what the store offers. That's why we have stores, and they don't usually have like just a brick wall, as their storefront. They'll usually kind of advertise what they sell. And it isn't where you just come in and they're selling just random things. You don't just guess. It's not just a question mark. Hope the store has what you want. So it's the same thing when it comes to videos. You want to lead the right people to the videos. Obviously, if you're doing fishing content, you want people that like fishing. Same thing with stores. If you had a fishing store, you want people that fish to kind of come in. You don't want people that do something unrelated, like boxers, to come in. So you want it to kind of not tease, but kind of promo what you're going to be talking about. So the way to do that, like I said before, you just not talk about, but you give a snippet of what you're going to be talking about. The problem is that people sometimes ramble in the caption. So the caption of the title should be about maybe 5 to 7 words max. It should not be longer than 7 words. It's way too long. in certain titles, of course, they're gonna have to be longer than 7 words, just given the fact that certain words are longer, or sometimes you have words that are attached to other words, like they have the hyphen. So those cases are unique, but on average, it should be about, maybe I would say, 4 to 5 words. So for me, like, because I'm teaching, I would say maybe more views with this, more views with this, or more views with blank, whatever the topic is. So more views with, maybe today I'm going to be talking about reels. Maybe today I'm going to be talking, the next day I'm going to be talking about hashtags. So you want it to be as concise as possible, but yet descriptive, because things keep changing. So maybe in the future it might be where colors matter more. So, like I said, people need to evolve instead of getting mad and saying, "Oh, I just don't get views." You need to evolve with what's actually working and see, how things are changing. Things aren't the way that they used to be, and especially since I've been using it since 2015. So let me see, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So about 7 going on 8 years. Because I had started to really like look at it around the end of 2014, but going on 8 years of using it daily, I got to see the change, and things aren't the way that they used to be, where you can grow as quick, well, not as quickly, but the methods of growing are different. So a lot of people have the same old-fashioned metrics, not metrics, but methods of growing, and they think they still apply, but they don't. So a lot has happened within 8 years since old Instagram, and I will say that it was easier to grow back then, and it's not because of algorithms. I always get tongue twisted saying that. It's not because of algorithms. It's simply because a lot more people are using the app, and a lot of bigger creators and people, they complain and they say the same thing. Oh, it's because the algorithm changed, things are different. Yes, the algorithm did change, things are different, but the algorithm changed because more people are using it. So back then, when there weren't as many users on a lot of platforms, it was definitely just easier to grow. I think about even myself. It was just a lot easier to grow because it wasn't as much competition. So that's something that a lot of big creators, they say, and they don't explain why. And it just turns into them being upset and just saying, "Oh, it's the company doesn't like you, or they are against you." No, they want people to be on the app. But the problem is, like I said, they have to weed out competition by making an algorithm. So seeing what content gets the most views. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about hooks. And like I said, this is all from a psychological background, psychological perspective. Psychologically, people are going to look at stuff that suits them. They're scrolling quickly, so they're not going to sit and want to read a long thing. Think about the times people are on social media. They're trying to relax. They're not trying to read a whole paragraph. So, like I said, also I have my the beta test of my course, so it's free. And pretty much it's just going to be a study. I'm just trying to see how fast I can teach people the skill, to see if it can be replicated. So if you want to join that, and learn how to grow your page, maybe learn how to sell a course, maybe learn how to monetize your skills and teach people your skills, and create a course, or maybe learn how to market a product, you can message me on Instagram. I have my Instagram handle on my page, and join the course. So stay tuned.